Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Week 7 of the High School Football Preview Show here at the Altoona Mirror on YouTube TV as well as Channel 13 Public Access for those of you in Blair County who have Breeze Line. As you've already noticed, that is not Michael Boydham sitting to my right, your left from your couch in your living room. We are joined. We went out and we asked for some extra money.
We recruited,
get a guest. And we got Neil Rudel, who actually is the founder, I think, of the show, who got me to do this 6 years ago because he goes, Scotty talks too much in the newsroom. If we give him a TV show, maybe he'll talk less. Neil was wrong.
No.
But anyways, Neil's going to offer some insights and commentary for us. As always, joined by Andy Stein. Mike Boydham is on vacation. I wanted to say he was on assignment, but he's not.
He's probably melting in like 100-degree weather.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
out in Arizona. You guys can ask him when he gets back. Talk to him. But Mike does have something he sent for us for his stat of the week that our producer, creator, everything, Dan Eisenberg behind the camera will insert into this for the show. Right off the bat, we're going to talk about we got a freebie. Somebody sent us stuff, and it's somebody who's been sending stuff for us.
Yeah.
Andy, you got this at the game. Was it last week?
I did. Yeah, it was just last week. It was. I was at Glendale last week. It was Glendale Mountain Union. Pretty good game. John Matchhawk, the athletic director at Glendale, told me, "Hey, I have a helmet for you up here. Make sure you take it with you later tonight." I said, "Thank you very much." He gave me this little mini helmet, which was really cool. Thank you very much, John Matchhawk. Been one of our better ADs for a lot of years, I think.
And John actually sent us, we have it down here. It's right behind Neil. It's the actual size Glendale helmet. We got a Glendale towel, and I mean, Glendale does. I wish we could get other schools to send us a mini helmet, let alone a big helmet.
That'd be cool.
But anyways, without further ado, we're going to go right to our first game. Hollidaysburg 6-0 at Jersey Shore 5-1. And I'm going to break down a little bit before because Neil was actually at Hollidaysburg's last game, and I know Andy's seen Hollidaysburg.
I have.
Jersey Shore is 5-1. They are averaging 36 points per game. They have a running back named Bo Seacrest. He's averaging 137 yards per game. He has 14 touchdowns. They don't even try to run the ball at all. They're rushing for 300 yards a game so far. Even in their loss, I mean, they're scoring they lost 43-42 to somebody. Hollidaysburg, no slouch either. 6-0. They got two kids on defense. We always talk about offense. They have a kid named Joe Richardson. He's a junior defensive end. He has 7 sacks in 6 games. And then my son, Dom, is on the staff here. He talks about this kid's arms. And he's a beast. And he's only 7th grade. And then another kid who I know, he's a senior. And right now he has an FCS scholarship to Maine.
Nice.
But I hope some Division I FBS schools give him a chance. Josh Banks, he's averaging 8 tackles per game. He's a secondary guy, but I think he plays that star position for Hollidaysburg, where he'll come up to the line as a backer and maybe go back. Real quick, you saw them against Fort Hill. And
I've been waiting for you to let me say hello.
Oh,
well, first of all, it's nice to be
thanks
here.
For joining
I
us.
got big shoes to fill with Mike. Mike does a tremendous job, as we know, with our high school stuff. I'm really proud of you guys, how long you've kept this show going. I watch it every week.
6 years.
I'm also proud that I think I hired all you guys.
Yeah.
And you're doing a great job. I can't understand the purpose of the water.
That's right, because
Drink a gallon of water a week. Or a day, I mean.
A day. Yeah,
a week.
Yeah, that
really
Hollidaysburg game last week, I went against Fort Hill, which is a quality program.
Yeah.
That was really one of the
Maryland.
great high school games that I have seen. Back and forth. Hey, Hollidaysburg's having a great year. I think they haven't lost a home game in 2 years.
Yeah, you would be right.
And they've won, about 19 or so out of 20. They had the one they lost to Fort Hill, but that became
down there.
Just back and forth, big special teams plays. They got them back in the game last week on the blocked field goal, and the kid from Fort Hill lines up for a 56-yard field goal, and Hollidaysburg roughed the kicker.
Yeah.
So they line up from 51, and they try it again, and Hollidaysburg blocks it, takes it back. The kid weaves his way.
After he got it lateral
moves,
to somebody on another teammate.
Got him back to 17-14. You talked about the kid Banks, who he caught the winning touchdown pass from Cole Delatre on just a tremendous call where they released the tight end, kind of rolled right and freed him left. Yeah, great game. Hollidaysburg's having a great year. This will be a big test.
And Jersey Shore coached by Tom Gravish, who, if you're one of those football nerds out there, Tom Gravish is a District 6 guy, graduated from Bald Eagle, used to coach, was it?
Bellefonte.
I remember when he was coaching East Juniata, which is a tiny little school outside Lewistown. But Jersey Shore right now, if you're looking at those numbers, and we know Homer's looking at those numbers, is it easy to say stop their run, beat Jersey Shore?
Yeah, I think that's the key. For almost every high school program, stop the run for sure. And if you do that, you'll have a good chance.
How hard is this too? Because Hollidaysburg's got to go on the road. I mean,
that's a long trip for sure. Yeah. That's not fun. I don't envy those guys.
Well, that's the first of 3 straight on the road for them.
Yeah, it is.
And they're having a really good year now, and how they do these next 3 games will determine if it could be a great year.
Yeah, and think about this too. They lost so many people from that team last year. I did. I mean, I love Homer. I root for the Tigers, but I never thought that they were going to be. I don't want to jinx them or anything, but that shows you the program there. I mean, the program that he's built.
Yeah, and they're doing it. There's some underclassmen that are also
the Richardson, Carter Muth. I have him here. 11 touchdowns. He's averaging 138 yards per game. He's only a junior. And I understand, too, his second grade teacher was a Mrs. Franco.
How about that?
And I'd like to think that maybe, she made sure that he was going to be a good kid when he got up. Just rumors.
Yes.
Our next game we're going to look at is Bishop Guilfoyle 5-1 at Bellwood Annis 3-3. Which right off the bat, I'll say Bellwood Annis is the best 3-3.
Yeah,
we used to say that about last year. Every time there was a team that was
was it Glendale?
It could have been, because
Glendale was connection to everything.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
but Bellwood Annis has to be the best 3-3 team in the state of Pennsylvania. But anyways, BG 5-1, Bellwood 3-3. Just your observations. I know that the stuff you read about are these teams in the paper, and that's a hard place to win.
Long-standing rivalry, really. I mean, and BG's obviously has a tremendous program. I mean, they're in the process of having to overcome the Consiglio injury.
Yeah, and they have already done it. It seems.
Yeah, is he a junior or a senior?
He's a senior.
That's a really tough blow. Great all-around athlete, one of the better athletes in the area. But I keep listening to you guys and reading. Talking about Bellwood having the best offensive line, maybe in District 6.
Yes.
And I was surprised
they are good.
They lost to Phillipsburg. I was at the Hollidaysburg game. Jack Shalani, Mo Valley
guy.
Phillipsburg roots. They were all excited. His wife's from Phillipsburg. That's a great win for Phillipsburg.
My mother graduated with him.
Yeah.
With Jack.
And the thing
should be a good game.
Yeah. And BG, I got to watch BG play Tyrone Saturday night, and BG's defense was just, I try to write some names. We always have offensive names. Rocco Casciati, Hayden Hosgood are 2 defensive linemen, and I think that's what Bellwood's got to be worried about. I know Jake Kissel's good. He's up there. A lot of the stats I'm giving you, I got off Max Preps. But that's Bellwood Annis. They lined up. I don't know if it was the game you told me, where nowadays in high school football, everybody's always got their splits. Bellwood Annis kids, their feet are just at their linemen's feet. They're like, you know what? We're going to block you. We're going to run block you. You got to stop us. And I think BG's got to be worried about hooving that Bellwood back.
I'm sure. This Bellwood offensive line might be one of the better front sevens that they'll play all season, probably.
Well, 3-3, Bellwood's in kind of a must-win mode.
Kind of, for sure. They're with a AA team, they're gonna have to go probably at least 6-4, you would think, to make the playoffs.
And Bellwood Annis, Alex McCartney, 12 touchdowns. He's averaging 123 yards per game. Chase Plummer, who would be a starting running back on a lot of other offenses in the area, he's a backup. And then I get to think like BG's looking at film, going, okay, we're going to try and do what Tyrone did, but which Tyrone couldn't do. They're going to say, okay, Braden partner quarterback, you're going to beat us. But Bellwood Annis, there's again, everybody knows McCartney.
McCartney's gonna get fed. And if I were Nick Loveridge, I'd be feeding him even with coming off as serious of an injury as he had last year. I'd be feeding him 25 times a game because the kid is a beast.
Long-standing Bellwood names: McCartney. Partner,
yeah, absolutely.
Plummer.
And our next game, which I am not going to take myself out of the argument or debate, Tyrone in need of a win at 3-3 at Huntington, and their next 3 games are Huntington, Penn Cambria, and Phillipsburg Osceola.
It's tough.
And right now, if you looked in the Mirror paper Tuesday morning, we ran the District 6 rankings. Tyrone's on the outside right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Huntington, and I looked up Huntington's numbers. Huntington doesn't have anybody like their leading rusher is Landon Erdman, 66 yards a game.
Yeah. Their
quarterback, Elliot Geisler, 3 touchdown passes. But they're 5-1. They've lost 1 fumble all year on offense. That Max Preps really has really cool stats. I got to get on that and look at it more often.
Well, Huntington had been down for a number of years, and they're getting it back together. Who's their coach now?
Tim Luco.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So that's good to see. Hey, this is the second time around for John at Tyrone. Obviously, the first was very special with the state championship and 2 trips to the Western Final. Is that right?
Yeah.
In 1.
3, actually. 2 against Mount Carmel and the 3rd against Lancaster Catholic.
Yeah.
So 1 and 2.
So he's still trying to kind of recapture that.
And also, have you seen Huntington? Because I know you've seen
it. No. I haven't seen either of these.
Who's Huntington's loss come to?
Oh, was it
BG?
Was it BG? Yeah.
Because they just got done beating Bellwood.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting in here thinking the next week, boy, that game where it was at BG.
They beat Clearfield, I believe, too.
They beat Clearfield on the road.
Yeah. I mean, Huntington's no joke.
I mean, Tyrone, who did you pick in the paper for Tuesday morning's paper?
I did. Wow, putting me on the spot. I did pick Huntington. I
picked Tyrone.
Wow, come on.
Yes,
not you.
Yes, I did.
Hey, I like Huntington's body of work.
Your Thanksgiving invitation will be cut off or what?
Well, we know nobody from the Bishop Guilfoyle family will be inviting me to any Thanksgiving meals.
You can invite me to Thanksgiving.
I didn't mean to open up that scab.
That's all right. That's all right. Our next game is, and I don't have Mike here because usually he'll tell us who's covering. Juniata Valley 5-1 versus Mount Union 5-1. And again, just to pretend to be Mike here, Mount Union has a running back named Nasir Collins.
Saw him last week.
Okay, 165 yards per game, 15 touchdowns. They have a linebacker named Levi Hunsinger.
Yeah. He's
averaging 14 tackles per game.
That's incredible.
Now, Juniata Valley, and then to show the love there, Andrew Clark, 12 touchdowns. Jet ran 9 touchdown passes. Mm-hmm. Their defense, they have a kid named Logan Harpster, has 9 sacks in 6 games. Yeah. What kind of problems does Mount Union have? You seen Juniata Valley?
I have not seen Juniata
Valley. What kind of problems does Mount Union have? Can they even try to throw the ball?
Not a whole lot. And from what I understand, their quarterback got hurt a few weeks ago, and Nasir Collins is now their quarterback. And let me tell you, he's one of the better athletes I've seen all season for sure. He's good. He hits the hole very, very well. I want to say he had 158 rushing yards last week against Glendale, and he hits the hole so fast and everything. He's Juniata Valley has their hands full right now.
And you go back as far as like Juniata Valley lost their first game of the year to Newport, which we all in here picked Juniata Valley because Newport was not very good last year. Now they've won 5 in a row. But you can remember back to the days of Bill Klaus. And when I was here with Neil hired me in the mid-'80s, and that was when you used to get a 1 o'clock game in the afternoon at Juniata Valley because they didn't have lights. Saturday afternoons. Or Johnstown Votech didn't have lights, and they had a high school with a football team. But I'll
tell a quick funny story. This would have been late 70s, 1979, 80. Juniata Valley had Bill Klaus, who was a really good coach. His son, Rich Klaus, went to Navy and played. But they were going against Bellwood with Jim Gardner, who was also an outstanding coach. He was a product of the Earl Strom era at Altoona. And at one point was a candidate for the Altoona job when your brother ended up getting it in the mid-'80s. And Southern Huntington had a great program led by Ted Nypover and the Schnars family. These guys, they were like Fred Flintstone running the ball. And I remember this was a huge game with Southern and Bellwood, And we called up Bill Klaus to get his scouting report because he played both. And he said, how do you beat Southern? And he said, blow up their bus.
Which, if you said nowadays, there would be all kinds of.
I mean, obviously it was a little tongue in cheek, but I'm speaking to a special era of those schools in the ICC that were really good, and it's nice to see, Juniata Valley having success again. They have some Williamsburg kids on the team as well.
That I'm not sure, Ken. That's where we would have Mike. Williamsburg has the co-op program with Juniata.
Well, they've had some up until at least this year.
I just know a couple games I got of Bill Klaus, if they would lose, and they didn't, because you remember they had the broadband.
Travis Broadband.
Oh my God, went to Rutgers.
He did.
But if they didn't do something good, he said it. I mean, he wasn't worried about hurting anybody's kid. What are you going to do? Quit and go play? They couldn't go to another school. But that's what I miss. I mean, the coaches that would say stuff like that. Nowadays they either put their hand over the mic or say, turn off your tape.
I just have one thing to add, that I loved the Fred Flintstone reference when it comes to running the ball. That was outstanding.
Yeah. Bedrock High.
Yes. Yeah,
go, Freddie, go.
Yes.
There we go. Our last game before we get into our fun stuff, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. Tough task for Altoona, 2-4. Harrisburg, 6-0, which I found out because I did some more of my mic research. Harrisburg, who beat State College, has a running back named Messiah Mickens. He's averaging 116 yards rushing per game. They have a kid named, and this would have been on that would have made our cool names.
Mm-hmm.
They have a kid named Princeton Dent, who has 9 rushing touchdowns. Their quarterback, Mikhail Shank Jr., has 13 touchdown passes. Tell everybody who they already don't know, where's Messiah Mickens going?
He's committed to Penn State, at least verbally committed to Penn State, and they've been recruiting the heck out of him for a couple years. So, I know they had a big shootout with State College, a terrific game. Altoona, that'll be a tall task. They need to send you every time you show up at Altoona. Vince
Niedermeyer wants me to come to every Altoona.
You're 2-0, right?
I'm 2-0 with Altoona. Yeah.
Both times down there too, right?
Yeah, once at Cumberland Valley, once at CD East.
Well, you are not going to UCLA this weekend for Penn State.
I'm not. No.
You could technically drive to.
I'm not going.
No, you've seen them in person. Does Altoona have at least big kids? I mean,
yeah, they do. And they have athletes too, for sure. It's just, but the thing that when those 2 wins that I've seen, the major difference has been their defense. They've had great defensive efforts. They don't allow a whole lot of anything. The day I saw them against CD East, I think they gave up a total of 4 first downs, and 2 of them were in the fourth quarter when it was so late it didn't really matter anymore. So, I mean, that's the key right there, I think, with if they get a defensive effort, going forward.
Try to get their offense a short field.
In that too. Well, that makes a difference too.
Is it Lukovic or Lukovic?
Vukovic, yeah.
Yeah, is a really good player.
Yeah.
Hey, they have some challenges for sure. The last week they had some disciplinary issues in the game that Vince had to address, and he did the same against Hollidaysburg early. So, I hope they can get themselves righted. They have such a proud history, of tremendous talent over the years. Things are not going well, but maybe they can. Hopefully, they can put their best foot forward against Harrisburg. Tall task.
And just because I didn't ask you this before we went on the air here, how many Penn State guys can you think of that came from Harrisburg? Because that just seems like. Did Joe get a lot of Harrisburg?
Well, they had first Parsons.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would have been his.
Over the years, I mean, they had Ray Isom was safety on the national
Jordan
championship
Hill's
team.
right next door at Camp Hill.
Yeah.
What about Terry Smith? Terry Smith, the Whitfield
the kid that went to Notre Dame was Ricky Waters.
Oh yeah,
It's been a hotbed of talent at Harrisburg.
And now we're going to start here with our fun stuff. We're going to have Mike's stat of the week, which Dan's going to insert right now.
Hey everybody, I'm here from Sedona, Arizona. Have a wedding to attend to, but I'll still be back for Friday Night Football this week. Here's my stat of the week. My stat of the week is 12 minutes. That's how many minutes are in a high school football game in a quarter, and that's how many should be in a quarter. There's some teams around the state that are trying to drop that because they're worried about competitive balance, worried about losing by too many points. Here's the thing. When I was in high school, I was pretty decent at golf, pretty decent at baseball. I was terrible at basketball. I looked forward to those last minute or two of the game to have my chance to actually get into the game, whether it was a blowout one way or the other. There's so many kids out there that are putting that time in practice. They want to get into a game. And if you shorten the game, that's who you're hurting. You're hurting the third stringer people. I'm sorry, like a kid, of course they want to win the game. The only thing that really, the reason these 100 or 80-0 games get blown out of proportion is parents. So the kids, they don't want to lose that bad. But more than anything, they want to play. That's why they signed up to play football. So play the 12-minute quarters. And, that's my stat of the week. I hope that you guys have a great week. And I will see you on Friday back on the high school fields.
And there we go. That's Mike's stat of the week. And now we have your fun stuff, your line of the
My
week.
line of the week. Okay.
Short steps. Short steps are better than long steps.
So Penn Cambria, very nice effort again last week. A 56-14 win over Neil Rudel's alma mater, Westmont Hilltop. I'm sorry about that, Neil.
That's all right. We're going to ask Neil. So I was
At
going
least
to
they're not playing at night on Friday nights with
That's
Westmont.
true.
They finally got that done after
That's true.
about 80 years. But yeah, they're in a rebuilding mode would be a nice way to put it.
Yep. Yeah, but that's true. 382 rushing yards that night for Penn Cambria. Their left tackles Dane Somerville, left guard Matt Eckenrode, center Logan Price, right guard Ben Gorba, right tackle Mason Geist, tight end / H-back Aiden Himmer, and another H-back Nate Mack. Good luck to those guys this week.
Hey, I'm glad to see Penn Cambria doing well. I mean, you're out
Still
of
doing
Harold's
well.
now, right?
Still doing well.
And it's Jason
and,
Grassie's first
You know,
Yeah.
Felix moved on, and
Yeah.
Jason Grassie is taking the reins, and they're still having success.
The mountain mentality, which I still think somebody should put that on a T-shirt, sell it at the games, send one each to you and me and Mike.
That'd be cool.
And Daniel. Real quick before we get to the cool name segment, your favorite Westmont Hilltop football player from when you were there in high school, which would have been what, 70 to 74, right?
I
Because you're my brother John's
graduated in
age.
74.
Yeah, May of 74. Who were the big football
Hey, I'll
players
give
at
you some
Westmont?
Westmont trivia. My brother Barry was on this team. Westmont was undefeated 50 years ago in 75. Their 75 team, and they're honoring that team this month in October. I'm not exactly sure of the date, but I can remember going back into the 60s when I was young. Westmont was very good. Wimber was good. They had a guy named Andy Malora that went to Pitt, but they also had a running back named Joe Skittle. And
That would have made our cool name.
that
that's
was
cool.
the saying, Skittle up the middle.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
that.
but Westmont, has a good history, and like I said, they now have lights on Friday night, which is
Yeah.
when high school football is meant to be.
Would
Yeah,
you have seen
absolutely.
McCourt? Did they
Absolutely.
play McCourt back in the day? Would you have seen Jack Ham?
No, he would have predated me.
When you were little, did your dad take you to maybe a game that Jack
No,
Ham
but I
would have been?
became friends with Jack Hand and great friends with Steve Smear and the Bradley family. I mean, McCourt has really been a juggernaut. Ron Moeller, a lot of good guys from McCourt.
And he's not lying about the Jack Ham thing. When I first came back to the Mirror, I wanted to do a story on Jack Ham because back in the day, he used to do an NFL game on Sunday right after doing the Penn State thing. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't get over. He goes from there to there.
That would be a lot.
And Neil goes, why don't you call him? And he goes, I have his number. So I called and left him a message. Then he didn't call back. He called back my house and left a message at my house. I had that for at least 10 to 15 years till our phone broke. I had a buddy of mine, John Dybert, who gets
There you
way
go.
too much pub. He wanted to buy my phone off me because it was like, hey, Scott, Jack Ham returning your call. He goes, hey, if you can't get a hold of me at work here, I'll give you my home phone number. And he gave me his home phone number. And I thought, I'm not even a Steeler fan, but I just thought, that was super cool. I
Yeah,
had
it is super
Jack
cool.
Ham's home phone number.
Problem
That
is,
is
then
super
Dybert
cool.
had it.
And then, no, I never sold it. Mr. Ham didn't deserve that.
I wanna know what's the name of the game.
But anyways, we're going to wrap things up here. Cool name segment for week 7. Our first name is, and it's funny, you did Penn Cambria.
Yep.
This kid's a sophomore, offensive line, defensive line, and it just sounds like one of those names he'd be a private detective in an old, 40s novel. His name is Max Watt. W-A-T-T, Max
I like it.
Watt. I think that's cool. And then here's
like
one,
that.
Neil will recognize this last name, Central Cambria freshman lineman, and it's a cool first name. His name is Beckett Yezanowski, which I got to figure he's
What
got to
is
be
it?
related to Deb.
Yeah.
He used to be the coach, longtime coach of Bishop Carroll.
Right.
Maybe a nephew.
Evansburg name.
Yeah.
For sure.
Beckett?
What is it?
Yezanowski.
Yezanowski. I apologize.
Yezanowski.
Beckett
Okay.
Yezanowski. I just think Beckett's a cool. I wonder if
I still
that's a
got
grandparent's name or a maiden name of the. But yeah, just Beckett. I don't know any people called Beckett, let alone Yezanowski.
That's it. Yeah.
But anyways, those
you
are my-
almost named Dominic Beckett,
Oh.
didn't you?
No. I thought you were talking about your grandson, dog. Never. Nice name for Beckett Yezanowski, not the Frankos. But that's going to wrap up week 7 here. So grateful for having Neil in with us. Give us some good insight. Share some stories with us. And he took up the seat so wouldn't have to have all this empty stuff piled up in the corner. But for Andy Stein, for Neil Rudel, for Dan Eisenberg, as I said last week, not behind the camera, but to the side of the camera, I'm Scott Franco. And next week we'll have a tanned Mike Boyden back in a great mood, all cheerful,
Yep.
and ready to go at the last couple weeks of high school football. I'm Scott Franco. Thanks for watching.